Hey everyone. Everyone, welcome back to the shop. This is part two of our Axel progress. I apologize for the delay tonight. I was waiting for the neighbor kids to finish shooting off their crappy Kentucky fireworks left over from a couple of days ago. And I thought they were all done, but as I was starting this, I heard another couple of rounds go off. So, oh well. Also, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and they're driving back on a road trip, and they came across a orphaned raccoon. The mom and siblings had been killed, and this thing was on the side of the road, terrified, and picked it up and brought it into the car, and then called me and said, "There's a baby raccoon, and it's so cute and it's cuddly." And I said, "Look, the very best thing you can do is exit off the road, find the nearest tall tree back where the mom and the siblings were killed, and put it as high up in that tree as possible and let it live its life. Hopefully, it bonds with another family or figures things out on its own. But raccoons do not make really good pets. They really, really, really don't. The other option is to take it to a wildlife shelter where they release them into the wild after they get them ready for the wild. There's a place like that in Columbus, which is really great. Um, Please, please, please don't take wild animals, especially, and I'm kind of being hypocritical here because I have two kinkajous, but the kinkajous are a little bit different, and animal like a raccoon, it's not a good pet, especially if you have an apartment. It's not a good pet. So I understand the cuteness. They are disgustingly cute. Um, uh, so was Stalin when he was growing up, right? So anyway, please don't do that. Please get it to a safe place, half mile, a mile off the road, away from civilization, and put it in a tree and let it be there, and it'll be okay. Nature will take its course. And the other thing to remember is you always see this: for every dead animal you see on the road, there are 50 that are happy and healthy. So if you see a deer strike or a possum or a raccoon or something, just remember there's 50 more that are happy, healthy, and they're going to lead full lives. So try not to think about the the one that's on the side of the road. That'll just help you get over your internal feelings. Makes you feel a little bit better about the one that didn't make it across the street. So yeah, let's do some axles. And like I talked about last night, these are our 700 horsepower axles that we got from Mosier. These are custom made, and they fit the AW11 CV joint, and they fit the Camry internals. So these are really, really, really nice axles. I'm very, very happy with these. But what Mosier forgot to do, and I'll bring these around to you guys, they didn't cut the little band here for the silicone boot, or the boot, to grip into. When you put the band on there, the boot just slides off to this lower portion, then all the grease comes out. It just gets flung out as this axle's spinning. Same thing on both sides. And that's my fault. I didn't tell Mosier to cut those notches in there. So we're going to get those notches cut in. So that's why we have this one axle that has not been used. It's never been installed. These are our spares. We have two spares. One of them did get used at the last race because we lost a boot, all the stuff flung out, and we lost the CV joint. That was the end of the race. So this one's perfectly clean, ready to go get machined. They will also get clear coated. The splines will get covered up, and they'll get clear coated prior to being installed. So we'll set this guy off to the side. And one thing we're going to need today, big time, paper towels. Oh, and yeah, this is brought to you by Rockstar, by the way. Because we got to keep going. Oh, the kids are still firing off fireworks. Mm. God, that's good stuff. You know what? I'm not even going to hide it. We're going to put it right up front. So the first one we're going to take apart is the most recent damaged one. You can see the CV joint failed right there. We lost all the balls inside. That sounds bad, doesn't it? But this is our axle, and it's got some Ohio on it. I mean, corrosion. And we need to take it apart. We're going to reuse the spider housing and reuse the spider gear. All of that is fine. But we need to take these clamps off. We need to get the old spider out of there. And we need to do that on the other two as well. Now, as you can tell, this is going to be a big greasy mess. They use very heavy bearing grease in here. So we're going to go get some bitch mittens and get started on this. I'll show you guys how to do CV joints. They're not terribly complex. They're just really messy. Brian coiled up this cord. It's supposed to be on the floor. It's funny, we did a whole bunch of cleanup in the shop and there's actually less room to move around. So these are bitch mittens, for those who don't know. Whoops, there's a spare one. Just this grease goes everywhere. That's why I have the shirt that I don't care about, the shorts I don't care about. We'll not worry too much about getting grease on stuff. So, and I'll try and pull you guys closer for details and stuff. But what I've got here is I have a little circlip that has to come off. There's a little circlip right there that has to come off. And then this guy, he normally slides along there. That's totally normal travel. But I got to get that circlip off so I can get this guy off. Then we can pull the boot. We're going to do something similar on this end, but it's a C-clip. So it's not very difficult. I say that now. It's not very difficult to get these guys off. I just need, oh, come on. Yeah, this will work fine. Just something to pry that clip off of there. And he's not super tightly sprung on there or anything like that. Should have used a longer screwdriver. But he's just a little C-clip. There you go. You can see it against my not quite tan arms yet. They'll be tan soon. So now this guy comes out. I say that. Please tell me he's not damaged. Oh no. He's bent on one of the ends. I think the splines are jacked up. So hang on one second. We're going to have to vise this guy. I think if I can get him in there. Yep. Okay. Still have the boot in the way. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys aren't seeing this. I got to hammer this guy down because we have a damage in one of the splines from when we drove it with almost no grease in there. So hang on a second. Yeah. Yeah, he's not coming out. So I thought I could give him a little twist and kind of aim him, but that did not help at all. So I'm going to have to do it the hard way. That's okay. Because we need these axles. They're very, very, very important. So we're just going to have to give him a little motivation. That's all. Not much. 2 pounds of motivation. And let me see if I can find a nice, some kind of larger punch. I don't really have any good big punches. Let's try this guy from our air chisel. Yeah, now I have to hold this thing so it doesn't fall. Yeah. Okay, don't fall. I got you. All right. So I'll leave that stuff there because we're probably not going to need it. Hopefully we don't need it. So yeah, what happened is the splines inside here on the front end, you can see it right here. I don't know if you guys can see those. They got damaged and it wouldn't come past the splines here. I don't think he might go back on there. He'll probably go back on from this side. Maybe not. Anyway, this is leftover. This goes to scrap pile. Now, since our band is already off, we can pull our boot off, which got destroyed in the incident, and we're just going to throw him away. And this is our band, and these are usually one-time clamps. They fold in. I'll show you guys when we put this whole thing back together. They fold kind of onto themselves. They clip lock, and then they fold onto themselves, and then you hammer it closed. That guy is done on this end, and we have 8 of these to do. So get as much of the crap off of there as possible, and now we have a nice splined end. We'll clean up some of this. This guy isn't damaged. It's the CV that was chewed up. So this guy is fine. Next off, we'll take off these clamps. I'll show you how to pull these clamps off. It's actually just pliers. You just cut them. And then we'll take off, there's going to be a bunch of grease in here. We're going to take off the spider. And I haven't showed you guys the difference between a CV and a spider. So let me show you a good CV. Do I have, where did Brian put him? I thought I had a good CV joint somewhere that was already out. We had them out. Hang on a second here. Oh, they're over with. Okay, there we go. So this is a good CV joint. This is actually a brand new one. He still has everything on there. He's a little bit corroded, thanks Ohio. But you can see this sprocket inside there. And this is what a whole one will look like. And you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 balls. Some of them have 5 balls, some have 6. But this guy, I mean, he's going to be really stiff because he's not lubed. But you put the shaft in there, and you can move this guy around. He rotates. CV stands for constant velocity joint. So this joint goes together like so, and then he can rotate like that. Come apart. As I said, this shaft isn't damaged. This guy is damaged. So that's what goes on this end. And we have a boot that keeps all that grease in there, that keeps everything nice and cool and lubricated. When the grease fails, things get bad very quickly. You have a lot of pressure on that, and nothing good happens. So let's grab some. I'm just going to grab some clips, some cutters, because we really don't need to save these. Like I said, they're just one-time use. So pull them apart. I'll show you these clamps really quick. They have the two little teeth here up top. And when you go to put them on, see those teeth grab in. And then when they're like that, then you pinch this closed. There's a tool for that that pinches them closed. And then you hammer it just with a hammer or a punch and hammer. And that forms that metal, and then this thing never moves. But they're kind of a one-time use because I can't really unfold that. So that guy's gone. And we'll do the same here. Just fold him out of the way. He's obviously, whoops, a larger version. They make these in a ton of different sizes. But, yep, these guys are done. And that's fine. So now what we'll do is we'll take the boot off of this side. Actually, we'll slide off this. He's going to slide back. And that's also going to give us our witness line as to when I put the original clamp on, how far down I did. And I did it further down on this guy than I did on this end. I did it a lot further down. So you can see how much more I have here than I do here. I barely had it on right here. So now we'll take the boot off of this side, and we can take our spider apart. And there's going to be a lot of grease in here. So there's our spider hub. That's what it looks like with the 3 slots in it. And then we have our boot. We can't take our boot off yet. But inside, you can see all the grease. And this is our spider. And these are 3 bearings. 1, 2, 3. And those go in there. And again, you have the same rotational thing. And you also have a horizontal and x-axis sliding in and out. And that is your CV joint or your spider joint. Now, what we have on top of the axle and what I'm wiping off right now is a little C-clip. And we have to get access to that C-clip. And you can see these bearings also slide. So, I mean, this is it's a very ingenious little setup. So I have access to a little C-clip right on the top there. I'll bring this closer so you guys can see it. There's a C-clip right there. You take that C-clip out, and then this assembly comes right off. Then we can take our boot off. Well, we could actually slide our boot all the way down the other side of the axle and take it off, but I'll just do it really quick here. So, C-clip pliers, come on, C-clip pliers. I only have like 10 sets of them. I just want to find a simple one. I don't know if these guys will work. They should. I thought I had a right angle one, but I'm just going to grab them from the top. Get one in. Sorry, I'm doing this behind you guys. So, there's a stay. Spider just fell out. There's our C-clip. You guys can see it, hopefully, against the door of the car. And we're going to wipe him off and then save him, because we do need him to put everything back together. But definitely check him to make sure that he stays on there tight. And as you can see, the spider portion with the bearing slipped off. So we'll just put them on a paper towel here. You don't really want to reuse that grease. You can if you want to. And now this guy will slide right off. He's going to take a bunch of the grease with him. And there's our boot. Now this boot is still good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not broken. It's not damaged. So we can clean this up and use it as a spare, just in case we need a boot somewhere. So just take the stuff off the edges and then put it in a Ziploc bag, and it's already kind of pre-lubed. So this will be a good spare to have, I think. Boots aren't terribly expensive, but there's that time when you're at the track and hey, do you have a boot? Or maybe one of the other teams needs one. Yeah. So, Ziploc bag. By the way, if you don't have Ziploc bags at your shop, you should. They come in a ton of different sizes, and use them for everything. Like the big quart freezer bags, the little small snack size are great size for small screws and single tiny projects. So there we go. We have a spare boot. We can put this with the MR6 stuff, which is right there. Okay. So now let's clean up this end of the axle as much as we can. Damn, these axles are no joke. So there we have it. 2 pretty damn clean axles ready for machining. So where'd our other one go? I'll just do a comparison. Flip around. So here they are, kind of side by side. One has been on the track, one has not been on the track. And that's why this is going to get cleaned up and clear coated. They are, they're pretty sturdy and they stay pretty damn clean, but we're okay. So the other thing we need to do is keep this end and keep him clean. So we can put the spider back in here. That'd be safe. And it doesn't really matter which way he goes in. He's only going to go in like super straight. It doesn't really matter. They're all kind of the same size. So then we're going to keep this guy vertical. And, if you want to, you can plastic bag him. Uh-oh. This is about the raccoon. You can plastic bag him if you really want to. And then if you do that, you can also label them, which is a good side, a good way to do it. So let's take one of our freezer bags. It's pretty big, but he works. And I'm just going to keep this together. I'm not going to label it because I know which one he is. So, oh, what the hell? I'll label it just for you guys, just because it is important. Not everybody works on the same thing. And I'm also going to put these 2 clips in with this guy. So, label him quick. And he is driver's side. So, I'm just going to go left axle. So, there we go. He didn't. Come on, Ziploc. There you go, Ziploc. Get all the air out of there so you get the moisture out. So, we're labeled on that guy. Ready to go. Now we only have the 2 other ones left to go. This is the one that has, this is our replacement one. And again, he has the boot. This boot has ripped. So even though we replaced him, he slipped down and then he ripped. The boots need to be extended a certain amount, but they need to be able to collapse a certain amount. And that's the hard part with finding the right boots. Also the right diameter on both. Since our axles are so thick, it's really hard to find the correct boot size on this. I can find this all day, but this huge thick shaft, that sounds so bad. It's actually very difficult to find that. So give me a second to find out about this raccoon. And I'm going to change bitch mittens. So give me a minute. I want to make sure that this thing is not, it's still in the wild. It's important. Needs to stay in the wild. All right, hang on a second. Ah. All right. Good news. The raccoon is going to the Ohio Wildlife Center tomorrow morning. He's in a box. He's in a bathroom. He's got food and water. He's safe. So, good news. There wasn't any place to drop him off safely in the wild. So the next best option is the Ohio Wildlife Center. And they do rehab and rehoming. And they're very, very good. One of the best vets I've ever met in my life started that place. And Animal Care Unlimited is upstairs, and Ohio Wildlife Center is downstairs. Oh, wait, who's here? Holy crap, who's here? Hey, Brandon. Yeah, you can check out my my OnlyFans. Lucas, what's up, man? Thanks, man. I love the MR6. It is a ton of fun. So let's go back, and we're gonna do our damage boot on this side. So, I always try and get the crimp, and I don't know why, because it never works. So got our spring release there, and I've got a ton of grease here, and I can't see where I need to grab from. Like I said, the good part is these band clamps are super cheap, and I have a ton of them. The boots are fairly cheap. They're not terribly expensive. So we've got those two guys off. Now we can peel this, and we can see the actual CV in action. So yeah, he's just oh, he doesn't want to come out of there. He's going to be a huge pain to come out. Just like the other one. Damn it. All right. This grease is not very solid. It's very liquid, which tells me it got very hot. So that is not a good sign, but that's how it goes. You guys are funny with the OnlyFans. I'm still laughing at that. Come on, buddy. He doesn't want to pop off there. Come on. I'm going to spill my Rockstar. Come on. All right. We're going to have to yank him off there too. So let's take him over to the vise. Damn. Did he get chunked up too? I don't think so. Something happened inside that guy. So, all right, let's take care of a different moving part, so we don't have two moving parts at the same time. It's like trying to throw an accordion. not going to work out like you think. Again, this boot we're going to save because we know it's a good boot. Come on. This is the problem when you're really good. You get really tight band clamps. And then you get grease all over your hands. Can't grab onto pliers. Can't grab onto clamps. Damn. There we go. It's always a struggle. Also, when you put these clamps on, you want to do them in a very specific direction. So like when this is in the car, he's like this. And you want to make sure the clamp goes in the direction of spinning. So he was like this. So the clamp is actually going in the direction the axle is spinning. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. Again, we're going to pull this back and we're going to have a ton of grease here. And you can see how this grease is a lot more solid. That's because it has not gotten super hot. When the CV grease or axle grease gets really hot, it gets very liquidy, which is not always good. So we're going to find our snap ring. Glad you guys are enjoying this. And we're going to do snap ring. It's a black snap ring behind black grease in the dark. It's very hard to see. All right, come here. With slick gloves on. So we have our snap ring off. You guys can hopefully see that. I'm just going to set him right there. We'll lift our spider off of there. Put him back in the jar. There he goes. We can put the grease back in. Move our pliers and grab some more paper towels. Now, since we're going to save the boot, we're going to put the boot on with that. So we'll pull the boot off of this side, and it's going to take most of the grease with it. And that's fine. You can overfill CV boots. Just go nice and slow, and he'll come right off there. We should take most of the grease with him, and he did. Put this back on here. If we wanted, we could zip tie it or whatever. But now he's safe, and this stuff is just aluminum, and it gets bent back into place. It's just a seal. So get this kind of cleaned up, and we'll also clear coat this because he's in pretty good shape. This guy still has his clip on here, and we'll just leave it on for the time being. There's no reason to take it off. That's what holds it inside the transaxle. When you put it in, you punch it, and that clip goes pink, and then pops right back up, and it holds in there. Then when you take it out, you have to yank on it because it has a little fillet on there that allows it to clamp, but you really got to yank on it to get it out of there. I got to figure out how the hell to get this guy off. So I'm going to take the boot, and I'm going to, oh yeah, he just comes right off. He's all done, except for this edge. Oh, crap. And this is what ripped. So now we can, yeah, I guess moving up and down like this is very OnlyFansy. Not trying for that, I swear. All right, get rid of that. That is a lot of our grease, and this guy should be just popping right out of here. I do not know why he is not coming right out. Not working. Put it back in the vise without all the crap in there. Let's see if he comes out now. Nope. He's not coming off of there. I don't know what it is. These are really nice for the best CV joints. There's no snap ring or anything on there. Well, no. There's no snap ring on. There's no snap ring notch on the axles either. No. No, there's the C-clip on the inside. So yeah, we're gonna have to punch that guy off because he has the C-clip at the bottom. Those are the second C-clips, right? Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Missing a C-clip and missing a lot of grease here. So clean off our hands. Yeah, we have that. It's not a C-clip. Oh, well, it's, I guess, a locking ring. But it shouldn't take that much force to pop that guy off. So we'll have to figure out how to get him enough force on there to get him off of there. So save this guy. Whoops. And we'll do force stuff later. And we will Ziploc bag this guy. And we can label him beforehand. Because I know you guys like that. He is left axle. Left axle. And we got to spell it the right way. Not like Axel F. So we put him in a Ziploc bag and save him. If he fits in here, the silicone grabs that bag. Stay in there, buddy. Saving boots, saving axles. All right. We get this C-clip. I'll put him in there as well. Because he goes with that spider there. The welding bench is all now covered in grease. He goes right there. Keep all the parts together. All right. So next one is, this one's a little different because it is the passenger side and it has the carrier bearing on it. So it's a much larger setup than normal. It's longer because it has to travel the distance, transaxle across the engine block, and then it has to have an axle that goes to the hub. So it has a longer section to take it past the engine block. Get that guy away for now. Keep these guys out. So this is our one, and it has the carrier bearing right here. The transaxle's over on this end. That goes in the transaxle. This comes past the engine block. Now it's like a regular axle. And here's one of our axles. And this is a good axle with good boots. These are different. These are rubber boots instead of silicone. And these boots are actually still very good. And these are different band clamps. I don't know who did these band clamps. It wasn't me. But these are, I don't know how to explain them. They're kind of fold multiple times. God, and these are all now covered in grease. You can't really grip them. So, oh, come on, buddy. I don't know if he's going to let me pull him through there. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So these work a little bit different. These band clamps go through, and then you fold them. Come on, go through. All right, and then you fold them back onto itself. And then these little tabs you fold over, and they lock it in place. And you have to keep constant tension on them. Unlike the other ones that have the little hooks that hold that tension, then you clamp them closed, then you hammer it closed. So these are just a different, same result, just a different way to do it. And these ones are a little more difficult to take apart because of those little folding tabs. They're hard to unfold. Especially with very slippery pliers, very slippery wire cutters. There's one tab back. Come on, buddy. Whoa. All right. Here we go. This will work. If not, I'll just gouge the hell out of my hand. So now, oh, it stopped. It's like a wind chime up there. This guy was working good before, so I'll try him again. Oh my God. That grease is so slippery. Whoops. Didn't grab him down far enough. You try and grab this, and as you put pressure on it, your hand just slides forward because you don't have any. This is so slippery. So let's just. Like I'm trying to put pressure, and my hand just slides right off of it. Come on, buddy. Damn. He does not want to come loose out of there. Maybe. You can also cut these if you don't want to do this wrangling. I'm just trying to be careful of the boot. And it's also pissing me off that I don't have grip. God, this thing is really on there. I'm going to use a different set of cutters. Here we go. These ones are not quite as greasy. Let's see if I can just cut it. Nope. They're stainless steel, so it doesn't want to cut. God. Well, it's official. These things are stronger than the other ones. There we go. God, what a chore. Oh, wait. Yeah, come on. There you go. All right. Do this the hardest way possible. There you go. So yeah, that guy, he looped around twice. That was the other part. So now we have the boot here. He's going to be covered in grease. Come on, buddy. And sometimes the spiders don't want to let go. Like this guy. You got to be dead on perfect in order to come out. Oh, what a chore. Come on. And now I have suction on there, which doesn't let it come out, which is funny. Come on. Come on. It's a very tight fit. This is a good thing. It's just a pain to when you're trying to replace stuff. Come on. Almost got that guy out. Come on. Number 2. Come on, buddy. He doesn't want to come out of there. There he goes. That's 2. Third one might work. Sent him right back in. Okay. 2 of the 3 out. Oh, come on. Ah. This is a hardcore balancing act too, because the only thing that's happening right now is this is just rolling along on here. If I do this, then it just rolls. So oh, you're killing me, Smalls. The other thing I can do is put a pry bar in here and pry that third one out, but I risk damaging the channels that the bearing's read in. So I don't want to do that. I want them all to come out on their own like that. So there we go. we don't want to damage the channels in here. This is the extra section. Now this will work on either axle, left or right. This is the extra section with carrier bearing. So let's get this cleaned up, because he's probably just going to get a bag over him. Keep that grease in there. So there we go. Then we'll just do just a sandwich bag is fine. And we really don't need to label this because we know exactly where it goes. So he can go like that. You know what? We'll throw a zip tie around him to keep him in place. Hopefully I have a long enough zip tie. Oh, I got tons of zip ties right here. I don't know if he's long enough though. Of course, the zip tie is exactly long enough to piss me off. It is just the right length. So pretty good at finding that stuff. Like I said, this grease just gets everywhere. So there we go. We don't need to trim this end because we're just going to end up cutting it off anyway. There is another side kind of done. And again, I'm covered in crap. I gotta figure out how to get the CV off that side. So here we go. We're gonna do this once again. I don't know why I sealed that up. I gotta put the spider and snap ring in there. So that's all right. That's okay. All right. So there is my snap ring. You can sort of kind of see it. Shit, where'd he go? Okay. One side. There's one side. Are we in? Yep, we're in. Of course, my gloves stuck to it too. So there's our snap ring out. We'll take, we are saving this boot, right? So let's grab our other side. And yeah, we'll have to do, I guess we'll have to do a bigger bag. That's fine. Zip tie off, our bag off. Maybe we'll use that bag for something else. So we'll take our spider, put him back. Maybe he's just a tight fit. Wow. Okay. Ah. Damn it. Can't avoid it. So then we'll pull our boot and we'll try and be smooth with our boot. Maybe. Jesus. Okay. He's just caught on there. This will also tell us how far up. See, on this one, I went a lot further for it to grab onto. So that's a good thing. So, yep, he can just go like that and he will be happy And take this snap ring. Since we don't have a bag for this, I'm just going to put this snap ring back on the axle after I get a new paper towel. Clean this off. I'm just going to put the snap ring back on here so we don't lose them. A lot like what I do with the bolts and stuff on the cars. You can just put the bolt back. A lot less chance of losing it that way. So snap ring pliers. Maybe we can degrease them. God, everything is just covered. Like I said, this stuff just goes everywhere. Come on, buddy. Just put him back on the top up here. Honestly, it doesn't take much. You just got to clear that shaft, let him come down, and then make sure he spins. If he doesn't spin freely, he's more than likely going to come off. He won't go back down. He'll come off, and then you'll have problems. So make sure that snap ring, he spins snugly. That's okay too. We're done with this guy. Let me set him off to the side. Here's our other side axle. And this guy, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this one off too. I have to get new pitch mittens. Let's see. What do you guys say in here? Stream available. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are digging it. This is super simple stuff. This is not anything complex. We are not going to Mars. We're not doing anything like that. And hopefully this is stuff you guys can apply to something else you do in life. I gotta clean up the glasses too. We're actually getting sweaty. It was a beautiful day here. Went to a really nice car meet, and a photographer was there, and she took a whole bunch of pictures of my car, which was great. And did a whole bunch more real estate stuff, which was cool. I'm trying to figure out moving, furniture, inspection. Excuse me, wrong pipe. A whole bunch of different stuff regarding Florida. And then grab some, you wipe, and then it's like a crayon. And then, grab some food, went out, saw some very cool friends, and a photographer who took some cool pictures. I'll probably put them up on Instagram once I get them back. So, God. All right. All right, give me a sec. I'm going to clean up my hands. This is the good stuff. So I'm just curious. See, now this is weird. This CV does not pop out at all. It can't be from suction. I'm curious about these CV joints from the best. Now it's making me wonder. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. More raccoon stuff, which is always fun. Oh, I should probably mute this.